Okay, it's early, but beautiful. It's time to go on an adventure over to Center Island and pick up that Fiat barge, our new hydraulics project for Marine Tech. Why the Black Pearl? Well, because Marine Tech students, when you're learning to be a technician, this is one of the vessels that we hang out on, doing systems work, water making, heating, rigging, all sorts of fun stuff. So, and she's got 110 horsepower, little turbo Yanmar under the floorboard, so that ought to do just fine to tow a barge, 22 foot. That'll slow us down a bit. But we took the little rowing sailing skiff off the back, the normal tender. We got the scallywagon over there, 15 horsepower, 14 feet of aluminum workboat right there. It's a nice high thrust engine. So we'll tow that to Center Island, the 12 miles over there or whatever, and use that to get back and forth to the beach. Chris is going to float the barge up off at high tide, and we're going to bring it back to Anacortes. It should be a great day for an adventure. We got Clifton and Art coming by to lend a hand. We got one extra friend of mine on standby here for shoreside work, and this Black Pearl is going to be nice and comfortable for an adventure today to go pick up this Fiat barge. Sun's coming up, we're in the channel. Okay, so Chris had sea trialed this thing from our previous side trip video. It was really cool. We didn't get to see it in the water. He sent me this video, but we saw it drive around on land and in the water and stuff. But we got to thinking, does it even have a bilge pump if we get into rough weather? So tech tip 10, Art, bilge pump in a bucket. We carry one on board Black Pearl. We thought we should probably grab a fully charged new battery as well so we could toss it in if needed. Just sent our skiff out back here. The scallywagon. Got a nice little pull point down there. Got an actual tow bit. Well, we made it to Center Island. Still a little bit on the foggy side. Been like this all the way over, but we're thinking it's going to probably burn off. The sun's trying hard, so we're gonna go pick up this barge. Oh, set my wet spot. Yeah, they're all wet spots.
You're really filming this?
Yeah. There's editing. We might cut some of this out. Here we are at Center Island.
Yeah. Drift as you're going across. So we'll strap everything up, put a ratchet, maybe two ratchet straps on the end of the.
Yep, on the front.
Do you think the tires are going to settle too?
Yeah, everything goes down slowly.
I'm not worried about the back ones. Are you lowering?
I mean, it's just drag.
Yeah, and so, I'd rather have drag in the back than the front.
Yeah. So. But if we could keep these forward ones up,
yeah, we'll definitely ratchet those.
Ratchet strap from one to the other, something like that.
We'll do that for the fronts for sure.
The back.
And then as the outdrive, as long as the outdrive is straight and it's up a bit, that'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can. The outdrive has hydraulics without the car on there.
Okay. Well, if we could just
steer it and
if we just bump it center line, it should be fine, just so we're not fighting it, don't you think, Art?
Yeah.
Well, show us.
I think it's going to do what it wants to do.
Yeah.
And then we're going to adapt.
That's right.
But you have a tugboat with you, so that's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I guess. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay.
It's going to be a long ride home, I suspect. We're targeting maybe 3-4 knots if we're lucky.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You know,
I mean, it'll do about 6 with the outdrive.
Yeah.
So this thing will push that fast, but it's digging a pretty big hole.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna take our time. Good. Unless we run out of food, we have no worries. There she's up. There's the towboat out there. We're getting ready. Can you get that up to the dock here? We can turn you around actually and pull you back up probably
well,
to...
I think I'll just toss it to you and you can keep me from drifting into these guys.
Gotta get the wheels pulled up. Working just like you remembered. Okay.
Let's see, so
Do you want it done? That's why I'm here.
Yeah. This looks like this will be
Yeah.
easier than I thought, because with these two lines, we don't even have to
Yeah.
use the outdrive.
No, it's dead. She turned into my grandma.
Got my water shoes. That.
we still
We're tied off. We're looking good.
Looks good.
Oh, I love that car.
I gotta have one of these.
One of those, man.
It's
Go this way because of the light. All right, Chris. Here we go.
what's going on
There
here?
goes your barge.
All right.
Thank you for donating it to Skagit Valley College. We're gonna make good use of it
Rear
All
tire
right.
fender here.
and get a car on it and drive it around.
Send me the video.
Will do. Thank you.
All right.
Starting to plow.
Yeah, well, it was 1,500. We'll see how many knots. I think it's, look at it, it's back there. It's doing its thing. Doesn't look too stressful. What's our speed, Clifton? 3 knots.
3.3.
3, well, if we can do 3.5, 3, I think that's about the target. I don't think she'll do much more than that. Seems to track all right though, so far. Well, this is kind of it. 3.8 knots, kind of what we figured. Still pretty foggy out, but towing real well, and winds are still light. No complaints from the crew. Eventually, Guima's channel, the sun came out. My friend Jason from the aerospace and drone program grabbed his DJI and got some shots of us underway here, towing the barge. And yeah, it was, a little slow, but the thing did have a lot of drag. But 4 knots, it was a little over 3 hours. We ended up 8 hours on the water or whatever. But any day when it's just beautiful out in the water is good. Once we got it towards the marina, we pulled it up tight, transferred Clifton and Art, and got into the marina. And then as soon as we were inside, no wind, it was a nice calm day, thank goodness, they did the little hip tow and took off and used that thing to get up to the launch. And we pulled it out, put it on our trailer, and it was really working out. It worked out perfect the whole day. All right, Instructor Matt, what do you think? We dragged this thing back from Center Island.
Yes, this thing is a beauty. So I'm super excited to start getting my hands into this thing and excited for all the opportunities this really unique and amazing training aid is going to provide for our hydraulic students. So as you guys have already seen in the video, we had this landing craft, experimental prototype landing craft hydraulic barge designed by Chris over there on Center Island, who's clearly a part-time mad scientist. Donated to the school, and I'm very excited about it for our hydraulic students because this is a fully functioning, elaborate hydraulic system that our students will not only have the opportunity to map out and try to figure out how all of this was plumbed, as well as how many different actuators went into this thing and to make it work, but then also a training aid that we can actually fire up and use in order to drive around the parking lot. Our thoughts are getting this thing powered up, taking it out to the Waterfront Festival, Arts and Crafts, maybe even 4th of July Parade.
Welcome to the Scallywags, located in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, where Skagit Valley College has been training technicians since 1968. If you are looking for industry certification and the skills to work in maritime, this is the place to visit. Our staff will share so much knowledge and experience, you will not be disappointed. The workforce demand is very high and all of our graduates are working around the world. If this sounds interesting to you, schedule a tour and come check us out.
So really being able to see the hydraulic beauty in action, right? The hydraulic magic happening is always a big challenge with hydraulic training aids when you're just here at the school. We got the wood splitter last year, which is really awesome. Students could see that hydraulic power in action, but I think this is going to be even more eye-opening, being that it's a lot more complex with all the different actuators, and we can drive it around. So for now, we're just thinking about how we're going to power this up. As you guys have seen in some of the video, it was originally powered by a small electric Fiat that ran the wheels that drove the drive shaft and powered the hydraulic pump. So we're playing with a few different ideas on how to get this thing powered up. One may be just to get another small car, an old junker, that we can use in a similar fashion to make it go. But the real beauty of this is the complexity of its hydraulic system. It's going to be a fantastic practice for students to map it all out, draw schematics, and really see how hydraulic flow and pressure work to make this thing move. So we're super excited to have it at the school, and a big shout out to Chris over there on Center Island. Looking forward to enjoying this training aid.
We got this landing craft here. Instructor Matt's coming by later for his hydraulics class, but we want to know what's going on underneath these floorboards. We got to get this thing opened up to see what's inside of it. So we thought, well, let's get some tools and let's get her done. So. Okay, you saw me pulling up all those panels. What do we got?
God, we've exposed the underbelly of this contraption. And so what's going on here is Chris had this designed such that his Fiat's front tires bear on these wheels here, right? So he could chock the back tires to keep the car locked in place. And when you drive, it would turn these, which would drive this shaft, driving the gears in this differential and powering the main drive shaft. That main drive shaft runs all the way back to a little Mercruiser Alpha drive unit on the back. That's what provided propulsion for this unit. But at the same time, while it's driving that drive shaft, you can see the 3 belts in the middle here. And what those are doing are driving this hydraulic pump right here. And that's what provides all of our hydraulic power for our landing gear, if you will, to go down and powering motors on the rear drive wheels in order to actually drive the thing up on land and thereby making it amphibious. So I think it's genius. He's got this thing plumbed really well. Tons and tons of relief valves, selector valves, a lot of directional control valves up here, as well as a bunch of other stuff I don't even know what is yet. So
I know what one thing is. You have to figure out the rest.
Right.
This valve down here in the corner,
selector. Yeah.
the selector. That's for wheels and powered hubs.
Versus like landing gear up and down.
I
or something
think
like
so.
that.
Yeah. So we almost know what one thing does.
Yeah. So there's
Pretty
a lot.
sure you can figure it out though.
Yep, we'll figure it out. And again, this is going to be really fun for students to go through this, map this all out, draw accurate schematics of each of the components. So I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be a really, really fun training day.
I have to agree with Matt. That's going to be a fun project. Look at that thing. But it's plywood. We're not going to be using it until March, so it's going to sit outside for 5 months or so. And we have a building construction program and the Marine, of course, for the high school, the Northwest Career and Tech Academy. So we asked those students, picked up some materials, could they put a little bit of a roof structure? Well, they put an awesome roof structure, 2 foot on center, everything's just done like you were building a house, and which is awesome learning opportunities for these young people. And they did it well. So we then grabbed the Marine students, and we got 2 sections of them, and we did a shrink wrap lesson. We put a 20-foot wide piece of Dr. Shrink across it. They all got to use the torch and learn how to do the little belly band and supports, and it's awesome because it's got to go outside. What's next, you ask? We don't know yet, but we got to keep this space clear for our next project, so we'll be on the lookout. We're going to find a car maybe to power this, a replacement Fiat, we don't know, or maybe a hydraulic power pack, we'll see. So next project's coming up, and thanks for watching.